In at number 10, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna's 2017 lawsuit against the Kardashian family will finally be taking place after years of stalling. In her $100 million suit, Chyna accused the family of prematurely ending her reality show, Rob & Chyna, and damaging her reputation by claims they made in the media. The planned 10-day trial comes years after the initial filing, and names Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Rob Kardashian, and Kylie Jenner as being responsible for the demise of the show. Chyna also lists Ryan Seacrest and other producers on the witness list. Chyna claims that Rob and his family wanted to destroy her and her reputation after the breakup. Chyna states that the couple was in the process of filming season 2 of the show, but it was abruptly halted. The Kardashians claim the show ended because Rob and Chyna split, and because Chyna was physically harmful to Rob during their relationship. In at number 9, Kim Kardashian. In May of 2021, it was leaked that Kim Kardashian was being sued by her staff for unpaid wages. And the more you learn, the crazier the claims seem. 7 members of her staff are suing Kim for not providing the workers with meal breaks and failing to cover any expenses incurred on the job. The employees claim that when they were hired, they were told they would be considered full-time employees. But after they started working, they were labeled independent contractors and treated as such. This meant the staff were not given any benefits of full-time employment. Kim is also being sued for, quote, failure to pay overtime wages and for unfair and unlawful business practices. Although Kim's reps claim it's not her fault, as she hired a third-party vendor to handle the maintenance on her property, and they should be suing this vendor, not her. In at number 8, Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner has gotten a lot of backlash because of her tequila company 818, and now some of this backlash has turned into a lawsuit. 818 is being sued by competitor brand Tequila 512 for allegedly ripping off 512's branding. 512 claims in their lawsuit that it's a cheap trick for 818 to copy its shtick by using an area code as its name. 818 is named after the San Fernando Valley, and 512 is Austin. 512 also claims the design and color scheme of the bottles was intentionally made similar to confuse customers. There's even a strange twist in this suit that involves Kim Kardashian. In Kim's mobile app, Kim Kardashian Hollywood, there's an emoji designed for Kendall's 818 tequila brand. But this emoji looks exactly like the 512 brand. Whether the mistake was intentional or not, it gives way to the theory that people easily confuse the two brands. And at number 7, Tristan Thompson. So we all know that Tristan Thompson cheats on Khloe Kardashian a lot. So much so that when any woman comes forward claiming that she hooked up with Tristan, the media generally believes her. However, when Kimberly Alexander accused Tristan of cheating and fathering her child, he took her to court for libel, claiming that was a lie. In the end, the test results determined that it was a lie, and Tristan was awarded $50,000 in damages. She will also have to pay close to $3,000 in court costs. Plus, she will be forced to pay 10% interest until the full amount is paid off. Tristan was seeking $100,000 in damages at the start of the trial, claiming the false allegations he fathered her child hurt his reputation and cost him endorsement deals because companies saw him as a brand hazard. The judge halved damages because Tristan didn't specifically lay out which endorsements he lost due to Alexander's allegations. And at number 6, Kris Jenner. In 2020, Kris Jenner was hit with an insane lawsuit that claimed that she was inappropriate with a security guard that was hired to watch over her and her family. Kourtney was also involved in this suit, and the bodyguard, Mark McWilliams, claims that both women were inappropriate with him. McWilliams claimed that after being hired in 2017, he became subject to a, quote, pattern of unwanted and unwelcome sexual advances and other harassing misconduct from Kris. Also claiming she made suggestive comments towards him about his appearance and asked him private details of his life. He also claimed that Kris massaged his neck, shoulders, arms, and back without his consent, among other physical contact. Kris's lawyer, Marty Singer, tells TMZ, quote, Kris categorically denies ever behaving inappropriately toward Mark McWilliams. The security guard worked outside the house and he never even went into Kris's home. The Kardashian lawyers claim that McWilliams is a disgruntled employee who was fired after being caught sleeping on the job. Halfway at number 5, Kylie Jenner. Kylie and her beauty brand were dragged into court after she was sued by Seed Beauty, the company that helped her formulate her Kylie Cosmetics products. The lawsuit came about after Kylie sold a majority stake in her company for $600 million to Coty. Seed Beauty believes that the new Coty deal is opening the door for Coty to steal Seed's formulations for themselves. In the documents obtained by TMZ, Seed says they've been providing their valuable recipe to makeup success to Kylie for years now, and with this new deal, their formulations are at risk of being distributed to Coty, their competition. Sources say the lawsuit is a little ridiculous since the Kardashians are most likely not successful because of their products, rather their insane social media presence. In at number 4, Kylie Jenner. Another lawsuit involving Kylie Jenner is actually on behalf of her daughter, Stormi Webster. Kylie went forward with the suit after a company called Business Moves Consulting filed to trademark, quote, Stormi Couture a month after Kylie and Travis Scott welcomed their baby, Stormi Webster, seemingly trying to take advantage of her name, which is incredibly unique. Kylie also filed her own trademarks for Stormi, including one for Stormi World. But after doing so, she was hit with a lawsuit from the same company, Business Moves, because they claimed that they filed the trademark first for Stormi Couture, and people would be confused. Jenner is asking the trademark office to cancel the other company's trademark because it seems like they only got the trademark to capitalize off of her daughter's name. Kylie says Stormi has, quote, achieved fame in her own right, and points out that her Stormi World birthday parties have been covered by major media outlets like Vogue. As of now, it doesn't seem like there's been any updates on the case. In at number 3, Kanye West. Kanye West was caught up in a lawsuit when a former associate of his was sued for forging Ye's signature. West's former friend and good music associate, Malik Yusuf, was sued by company Gentle Monster for claiming that Kanye West would create a promotional video for this company. Yusuf allegedly scammed the company out of $2.5 million. The company says that Yusuf even set up a meeting between Kanye and a rep for the brand, making it seem like Ye was on board for the whole thing. Kanye allegedly had no clue there was any type of business deal in place. Kanye was also not the only celebrity in this scheme. He also claimed Pharrell, Jaden Smith, and others would help out with this project. Apparently, the scam was an elaborate 9-month plan that included forged signatures and fake invoices to make the documents seem legit. In at number 2, Kim Kardashian. App developer David Liebenson is suing Kim Kardashian for $100 million over her very successful Kimoji app. The developer claims that he and Kim made a joint deal to work on the project together, but she left him high and dry. The plaintiff claims that he and his business partners created an app called Censor Out that caught the attention of Kim, and after she got in touch, they decided to partner on Kimojis. In the legal documents, Kim agreed to give him and his team 60% of the project. But right around when Kim filed for the trademark, she decided to back out of their deal. He's suing Kim for at least $100 million for breach of contract, fraud, and for the profits he believes he's lost out of by being left out of this Kimoji partnership. And finally, number 1, Kanye West. Kanye West clothing company Yeezy Apparel was sued by Jordan Outdoor Enterprises after the company believed that Ye ripped off their design. Specifically, the company believes that Kanye copied their camo hoodie, camo thigh-high boots, cargo pants, hooded bomber jackets, shirts, and boots. The lawsuit claims that Jordan has distinctive markings on its Realtree line, and Kanye's companies ripped them off. To make things even shadier, the suit alleges that a rep from Yeezy contacted Jordan about using his camo patterns. But when Jordan said that Yeezy had to license these items, Kanye's reps all of a sudden stopped responding. Then, surprise surprise, Yeezy comes out with very similar camo patterns. Jordan Outdoor Enterprises is suing for damages, but also wants to stop Yeezy from selling the products in the future and to turn over any unsold inventory. In a statement, Kanye's camp said, quote, "There's nothing original or protectable about the Jordan outdoor gear in question. It's unclear if this lawsuit has been resolved."
Coming in at number 10, Johnny Depp threw his phone at Amber, causing injury. This is definitely one of the biggest ones on the list. The initial case against Johnny that he harmed Amber physically exploded onto the internet back in 2016 after the former couple got divorced, with irreconcilable differences cited as the reason. Although they had initially made a joint statement saying that the divorce was amicable, it very quickly got ugly when Amber filed a restraining order against her former lover. During the case against him, she alleges that Depp threw a cell phone at her during a fight, which struck her in the eye and the cheek, and that he claims he screamed at her, grabbed her face, and pulled her hair. She also submitted a photo of her face all bloodied and bruised. But documents later falsified this claim when LAPD officers who responded to the call during the time of the fight stated that they found no evidence of any crime having taken place. In the current defamation case, Heard's lawyers subpoenaed the LAPD, which basically means they called the cops to court. I guess during these current suits we'll see more of an elaboration on that fight, but as of now that's all we have. Number 9, they both claim that neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. In August 2016, after their divorce had been officially finalized and settled, the pair released another statement saying, quote, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm." Fast forward to now, the claims that neither party has made false accusations has been completely turned on its head. Not only that, but financial gain is at the forefront of these cases. Currently, Depp is suing Heard for $50 million, and she is countersuing for $100 million. I'd say that lines the pockets pretty well. Number 8, Amber donated $7 million to a children's hospital. After their divorce divorce was finalized, Amber pledged that she would donate $7 million of the money that she got from Johnny to the American Civil Liberties Union and the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. In 2021, a New York judge partially granted a petition from Johnny to determine whether the donations had actually been made. What was found was that she did not in fact donate the money, but had planned to do so. Quote, "My client is still planning to donate one half of her total settlement to the ACLU and the other half to CHLA. And while it is undetermined what those payment schedules may be, she has already made the first payment toward the pledges. She fully intends to continue to give the full $7 million, but she can't do it yet. She will do it when she can. But she has given a significant amount to both." What's the holdup, Amber? Coming in at number 7, Amber Heard wrote her op-ed insinuating that Johnny hurt Amber's career. In the now famous Washington Post opinion piece that Amber Heard wrote that spawned the defamation case, Amber alleged that her divorce from Johnny Depp had practically blacklisted her from Hollywood. Quote, "A movie I was attached to recast my role. I had just shot a 2-year campaign as the face of a global fashion brand and the company dropped me. Questions arose as to whether I would be able to keep my role as Mira in the movies Justice League and Aquaman. In fact, Amber had barely lost any traction. She didn't get her name taken off of Justice League, and she's doing just fine filming for movies as we speak. But Johnny Depp got fired off of Fantastic Beasts, and he's barely been in anything these days." Although Amber cried victim herself, it is extremely apparent that that isn't really the case. Number 6, Amber told the court that Johnny had pushed Kate Moss down the stairs. This claim was basically instantly debunked and shut down by the court. Based on a kind of old rumor, Amber voiced unsubstantiated claims that Johnny Depp had pushed his former girlfriend, Kate Moss, down the stairs after she stood up for her sister during a fight. The lawyer defending Johnny said that she was basically making up accusations as she went along to try and paint him in the worst light possible. Number 5, Amber's sister lied to the court defending Amber herself. The 3rd week of the trial of Johnny Depp against The Sun, a magazine that published a piece calling him a wife harmer, Amber's sister was called to testify for The Sun. Then, the day after her testimony, when she claimed that Amber had never hurt her or harmed her in any way, a video was sent to Johnny's lawyers by an anonymous source which disproves that statement. Depp's lawyers claimed that the video demonstrated that the sister had lied and tailored her testimony to, quote, meet her sister's evidence. The footage in question was a clip from a reality show featuring Amber's sister claiming that, quote, "I can't believe Amber beat your ass." Number 4, he said, she said in the current court cases. One thing is definitely clear. Both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have harmed one another. Text messages surfaced that show Depp very clearly stated that he wanted to end Amber's life by burning her and doing awful things to her corpse. Meanwhile, we've seen tons of lies on Amber's part in her attempts to cover the own harm that she has done against Johnny, as she continues to claim to only be a victim rather than playing equal parts as the perpetrator in this extremely obviously toxic and insane relationship. Coming in at number 3, Johnny Depp's self-inflicted wound or not? In the 2016 Sun article Libel Trial, Johnny Depp claims that Amber had cut part of his finger off in Australia during a fight when he was there to film a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It was later revealed in a voicemail to his doctor that Johnny had in fact cut his own finger off. The voicemail recording reads, and just so you know, a bunch of this will be bleeped by the way to keep it family friendly, quote, "Hi. Had another one. I cannot live like this. She is as full of as a Christmas goose. I'm done. No more. The constant insults, demeaning, belittling, most heartbreaking, that is only released from a malicious, evil, and vindictive. But you know what? Far more hurtful than her venomous and degrading, endless educational ranting is her hideously and purposeful, hurtful tirades and her shocking treatment of the man she is supposed to love above all. Her obsession with herself is far more important. She is so ambitious. She's so desperate for success and fame. That's probably why I was acquired. Although she has hammered me with that a sad old man has been I am. I'm so very sad. I cut the top of my middle finger off. What should I do? Except of course go to the hospital. I'm so embarrassed for jumping into anything with her. The world. Although it definitely was after a verbal altercation, Johnny has a history of drinking too much, and it is alleged that he drank way too much that night, had a fight with Amber, and it escalated to an insane degree. with Johnny harming himself after a major depressive bout. Coming in at number 2, Amber may have tried to get her friends to lie for her. In a report that was just posted only moments ago at the time of writing this, Amber Heard's good friend Eve Barlow was kicked out of court for a multitude of reasons. Eve was acting as part of Amber's legal team even though she has no expertise in the matter. It is alleged by the court that apparently she tried to intervene during testimonies from Johnny's witnesses, which is entirely not allowed in a bid to not let the truth come out. She was also very recently kicked out of the courtroom and told not to return because she was live tweeting the processes, which is strictly under lock and key, after she was caught on her phone during the proceedings. Quote, Amber had her closest journalist friends sit in the front row with her legal team at the trial, live tweeting, texting, and posting information. Even though the court has continually sided with Amber, that can't look great on her to so obviously be having someone leak information. Coming in at number 1, both Amber and Johnny have stated they never hit one another. Both are proved untrue. Now finally, the biggest one of all, and the root cause of all the legal proceedings going on. Whether or not you side with Amber over Johnny or vice versa, one thing is abundantly clear. No one person is the true victim here. While it was determined pretty early on that Johnny had hit Amber, even if it wasn't nearly as bad as she had alleged, it did happen. There is video evidence and voice recordings of aggression and harm against her. Similarly, however, Amber is the only one with a voice recording genuinely admitting to hitting Depp. In a phone call to Johnny, Amber stated, quote, I can't promise I won't get physical again. I get so mad I lose it. The hit in question was a slap. So when both parties choose to continue to deny any wrongdoing, does that mean that these legal battles will just continue to drag on forever as each person continues throwing accusations at one another with little regard for the truth?
At number 10, Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is an incredible actress and activist, and she spent a surprising amount of time in jail. Not for extended periods of time, but she really isn't that afraid of getting arrested. Over the years, Jane has been taken to jail on a number of occasions, most recently following a string of climate protests. In late 2019, Jane was leading a weekly climate change protest, which she called Fire Drill Fridays. Her most recent arrest happened in December of 2019, just a day before her 82nd birthday, where she and a number of other protesters were detained for participating in the climate change demonstration. This most recent arrest followed 2 more that she had faced as a result of her protests. Like I said, Jane isn't afraid of getting arrested as long as she gets her message of change across. Jane said that up until this recent string of arrests, she hadn't been behind bars since the 70s. At that point in her early life, Jane was arrested after speaking out against the Vietnam War, although her charges back then were more severe than her most recent ones. Her arrest in the 70s came after she was initially charged with fraudulent drug trafficking and assaulting an officer, both of which were inevitably dropped. In 2019, she was arrested 5 times, and apparently because her list of arrests was starting to climb, had she been arrested more, she could have risked serving a longer jail sentence, but I don't think that Jane was really all that afraid of that risk. She's just there for the movement, not for her image. At number 9, Cole Sprouse. In another case of a celebrity being arrested for protesting, next up we've got Cole Sprouse. The Riverdale star and former Disney Channel actor was arrested back in June 2020 during a peaceful protest during last summer's Black Lives Matter movement. After the ordeal, Cole took to his Instagram to talk about what happened that day, where he said, quote, we were given the option to leave, and we were informed that if we did not retreat, we would be arrested. When many did turn to leave, we found another line of police officers blocking our route, and at which point they started zip tying us. Cole also went on to voice that he didn't want the news of his and other public figures' detainment to take away from the movement, and so he wanted to take his headline of his arrest away from the news outlets in order to focus on the real matter at hand, the lives of Black people. Cole and a number of other protesters were held in police custody for around 90 minutes before being charged with a misdemeanor count of violating curfew and then being let go. At number 8, Reese Witherspoon. Stepping away from arrests for fighting for other people, let's talk about a celebrity arrest that just made the star look bad. Reese Witherspoon seems to have a little bit of diva energy buried within, and we got to see a glimpse of that energy escape when she and her husband were arrested in 2013. The 2 of them were pulled over by an officer, and Reese's husband was given a DUI charge, and in an effort to fight the charges and probably intimidate the arresting officer into letting them go, Reese pulled the "Do you know who I am" card, but it didn't exactly work out as she had hoped. Her attempt at defending her husband resulted in the actress being arrested for disorderly conduct, but the news of her arrest wasn't the only thing to hit the media. The whole incident was also caught on camera.
I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
I told you to get in that car and stay in there, didn't I?
This is beyond.
This is beyond.
You fight with me, I promise
This
you.
is harassment. You're harassing me as an American citizen.
Years later in 2020, Reese opened up about her experience getting arrested, where she called the arrest, quote, embarrassing and dumb. At number 7, Amber Heard. Last year, following the explosive court case with her ex-husband Johnny Depp, Amber was exposed for all kinds of horrible things that she subjected her partner to while they were still together, and a lot of people went looking through her past, looking for any behavioral patterns, and found out that she had once been arrested for having a physical dispute in an airport. Back in 2009, Amber Heard was arrested for getting into a physical altercation with her then partner, Taza Van Ree, at an airport in Seattle. According to the arresting officer that day, she witnessed Amber hit Ree and then took action, proceeding to arrest and book Amber for the misdemeanor battery charge. There was supposed to be a court proceeding to further process her case. However, the prosecutor refused to move forward with the case and it was dismissed, even though there was a witness to the incident. In response to the charges, Ree told sources that the incident was blown out of proportions and that the arresting officer was just homophobic and that's why Amber was arrested, but the officer insisted that this was not the case and actually wrote about it on her social media, making a statement on Facebook saying that she identifies as a gay woman and that she didn't issue the arrest out of spite or prejudice, but because she saw the whole thing unfold. At number 6, Edward Furlong. Actor Edward Furlong, known for his roles in Terminator 2 and Pet Sematary 2, got himself into a bit of trouble with the law back in 2004 after his drunken escapades led officers to arresting him in public. Furlong and a few of his friends were out on the town one night, and after having an evening of drinking, the group decided to go to a grocery store at around 11 p.m. I guess in their drunken state, they decided to become animal activists or something, because when they started walking around the seafood department and came across the lobster tank, they got the great idea to plan a great prison escape and tried to free the lobsters. When the employees saw what Edward and his friends were doing, they tried to get them to stop, but if you've ever played GTA, then you know you can't just stop a heist in the middle of it. The police were later called and the actor was apprehended and charged with misdemeanor public intoxication, booked, and spent 3 hours in jail that night before being bailed out by the director of the film he was working on at the time. At number 5, Amy Schumer. Let's talk about another celebrity who got arrested for protesting. Back in 2018, there was a lot of tension surrounding the allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, as during that time he was a US Supreme Court nominee. After the announcement of his nomination, backlash ensued as multiple women came forward alleging that they had experienced unwanted contact with Kavanaugh. If you want more specifics on the matter, you'll have to look it up because there are just some things I am not allowed to discuss on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure you kind of get what I'm talking about. Anyway, a lot of people took to protesting Kavanaugh's nomination because of the allegations against him, and comedian Amy Schumer was one of those people. Amy was present at a protest showing solidarity for some of the people who have had bad experiences with Kavanaugh, and as a result of her part in the protest, Amy was arrested. There are videos of the comedian at the event and of her being escorted out by police, but Amy said that she wanted to be arrested for this cause, and so she was. At number 4, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne has had many drunken escapades in his day, and he has made many headlines for some of the outrageous things that he's done while under the influence. In February 1982, he was in the news after getting arrested in San Antonio, Texas, after he was caught peeing on a cenotaph which honored the Alamo. The musician was apprehended after being seen wandering the streets of San Antonio wearing one of Sharon Osbourne's dresses, and after relieving himself on the cenotaph, he was picked up by officers, detained, and was charged with public intoxication. After paying bond, Ozzy was released but was promptly banned from the entire city as a result. Luckily for him, he returned to San Antonio in 1992, apologizing for the incident and making a $10,000 donation to the Daughters of the Texas Republic, an organization which maintains the property that Ozzy peed on. This just added one more crazy story to his growing collection of drunk tales and hopefully taught him a lesson about peeing on things. At number 3, 50 Cent. Back in 2016, rapper 50 Cent got into some trouble while in the Caribbean after saying some colorful language on stage at one of his concerts. It all happened during one of his performances while in St. Kitts. In St. Kitts, the use of profanity in public is illegal, and so when it came to his concert, he was told that he had to refrain from using any adult language while on stage. During one of his songs, he mistakenly said the word mother effer in front of the audience of 40,000 people, and that was a huge no-no. The rapper was allowed to finish the rest of his set, but he was promptly arrested after the show. In his defense, 50 Cent said that he didn't have a clean version of the song, and he forgot to move his mic away from his mouth when he said the word. Luckily for him, when it came to his legal matters in court, he was only asked to pay a fine, and he settled the charge against him, but I'm sure he's since made sure to never repeat that mistake again. At number 2, Winona Ryder. Actress Winona Ryder was riding a huge wave of success in her early career, but she seemingly hit rock bottom in the media after her shoplifting scandal back in 2001. Winona was caught stealing a good amount of merchandise from Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills, and the actress was promptly caught and arrested. Winona was apprehended by police after having stolen about $5,500 worth of merchandise and was charged with grand theft and vandalism and was found guilty of her crimes. She luckily didn't have to face any jail time and was instead forced to pay a fine of $2,700 and had to complete 480 hours of community service to make up for her offense. This scandal tarnished her career for a long time, and this arrest was public and all over the news, but she has since moved on from the incident and has regained some success in later years. And finally, at number 1, George Clooney. After attending a protest in front of the Sudanese embassy in Washington, D.C. in 2012, actor George Clooney was arrested in public. The actor was attending a protest to make a statement against the Sudanese government for the treatment of their civilians and for not providing their people with humanitarian aid. George was one of the many people in the crowd to be detained for their public demonstration, and there are many photos of the actor being escorted away from the building by officers. After getting arrested at the protest, the actor was charged with a misdemeanor for disorderly crossing a police line and was forced to pay a fine of $100.